Hi all, this is Prashant again. Welcome to Hit F5. Firstly, I'm extremely encouraged to receive beautiful messages from innumerable like-minded people on YouTube. It just drives me to work harder and carve out time from my regular life to make these videos. So thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Today I'm going to be discussing Laletan or Mohanlal. Note that I'm not a seasoned film critic, but avid admirer of cinema, and specifically Malayalam cinema. Mohanlal is one of the most respected actors for how effortlessly he can mold himself into any role or character and not overplaying it. So when a magician performs his act, the key is for him to hide what he does behind the scene and show only the outcome to the audience. Mohanlal does the same. He gets under the skin of any character like magic. His body language and expressions fall in place so naturally that he almost lives like the character on screen, giving no clue to the audience how he got there. Now, if you look at the history of Indian cinema, traditionally, all movie industries in India, the superstar and an actor were mutually exclusive. In other words, the ones who have been superstars did not focus on acting, and the ones who focused on acting never became superstars. Mohanlal must be the first of his kind who broke that mold and carry both his acting prowess and superstardom on screen throughout his career so far. Now, looking back at the earlier stages of Mohanlal's career, when he auditioned for Manjal Virinja Pookal, the majority of the directors who auditioned him ruled him out, saying that he didn't fit the bill for the protagonist role. But he was selected for antagonist or the villain role in it. We all know how he carried that role effortlessly. People thronged the theaters to check this new kid on the block, even though it was a negative role. Good thing for Mohanlal was that he started it all during a new generation wave of directors who were willing to break all barriers and setting examples for thought-provoking cinema envied by sensible movie makers in other movie industries. Lal went on to act in 25 films in negative roles, and each of them were stepping stone for him to portray all shades of his talent. He was clearly a force of nature which no one could resist but support and make him the stalwart he is now. Now, to showcase what made Mohanlal stand out in terms of the conscious steps he took in his career path, I will need to compare him, with two other stars out there. One is Shah Rukh Khan and Rajinikanth. Yes, the superstars of their own industry almost started like what Mohanlal did as villains. Now, if you're an 80s or a 90s kid, you may remember that SRK was quite a dynamite to watch on the Doordarshan TV shows back in early 90s. It didn't take much time for him to be cast in movies where he portrayed the same dynamism. SRK was an epitome of unconventional looks, and naturally he landed negative roles. People liked him so much that he started acting in many critically acclaimed movies. But when the superstardom struck him, in the name of this lover boy role he did in Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge, he just stuck to that. It has been more than 20 years now, and till date SRK is the same old lover boy superstar and never bothered to grow beyond that. I think you cannot blame him fully. Whenever he tried to do some sensible movies like Dil Se or Swadesh, they bombed miserably. SRK realized that he needs to stick to this lover boy template and the storyline which is unrelatable to majority of Indians and still continuing to do so. Now, switching gears to Tamil cinema and Rajinikanth. Tamil cinema audiences have had a long-lasting connection with two stalwarts, MGR and Shivaji Ganesan. While MGR was a superstar, Shivaji was known for his acting prowess. After these two, Kamal Haasan was considered as the next big thing of Tamil industry, as he was an extraordinary actor and also had immense experience behind the camera. Kamal couldn't reach the masses more as he was more performance oriented. Rajini's entry was a new lease of life for many reasons. He was from a humble background, dusky, didn't care much about fairness creams, and relatable to majority of masses, and most importantly, exuded this electrifying energy on screen by being the epitome of over-the-top acting, dialogue and mannerisms and style. Like Mohanlal, Rajini also did a lot of negative roles in the beginning and was lapped up by audience as their superstar. After the superstardom stuck, Rajini didn't bother exploring variety of characters. You cannot blame him because his market was so lucrative that he had to stick to that success formula so that the producers, distributors, and whole ecosystem of people dependent on his film's success wouldn't incur any losses and get hurt. Now, switching gears to Mohanlal again. He could have chosen the safer path that his counterparts Rajini and SRK took to stick to that template and focus on commercial hits. But he didn't do that. Firstly, he was an effortless performer and I think he never allowed superstardom to enter his head. Secondly, Malayali audience back then and even now don't care about gimmicky or over-the-top action or drama and songs. Talking little bit about Kerala's psyche, Malayalis are the biggest critics of themselves, and they don't like it when someone is being oversmart or trying to overshine even if it is on screen. And hence, the stories needed to be told in a subtle and satirical manner to suit the sensibilities of the audience. Mohanlal excelled in maintaining the balance quite well. Thirdly, Malayalam film industry had extraordinary filmmakers during the time that Mohanlal started. While they benefited from Lal's acting prowess, Lal benefited immensely from them too, in terms of grooming that shaped him how he defined his career path going forward. Now, if you think about it, most Malayalis have an emotional connect with Mohanlal, and hence there was no need for any borrowed superlatives like superstar, megastar, rebel star, all those stars that you find in other industries, right? All that Malayalis needed was to add an Aitan towards the end and call him Laletan, Nammude Laletan. This was the best way to feel connected to him as our own family member and have his back. In Bharatam, as he struggled with hiding the news of his deceased brother from everyone, the audience also followed through the entire sequence of events with that same heavy heart. In Chitram climax scene, when Lal casually asked the jail warden to let him leave, the audience craved for some magical turn of events that would set him free. Through the movies like Pattana Pravesham, he showed that the comedy doesn't need to be slapstick. And his timing was so impeccable that it would give any seasoned comedian a run for their money. The relationship he portrays with women of his life, be it mother, wife, sister, or daughter, is generally sprinkled with naughtiness and childlike innocence, which makes it look so relatable. Now, talking about his stunts, right? His ability to do these flawless stunts generally get overshadowed by other talents that he possesses. I remind you of the fact that Lal was an ex-state wrestling champion, and that is evident from the stunts he performs on screen. Lal throws himself 100% into the stunts without relying much on the body doubles, and his stunts never look superficial because of that. During those times, most actors around India were doing over-the-top action, beating up like 20-40 people at a time by mostly using body doubles, using the then available technology, sound effects, and light effects without taking much bodily risk at all. Lal's stunts were a pleasure to watch as they looked raw and real. In Malayalam, they call Nalla Nadanthal. Now coming to the remakes of Mohanlal movies in other languages. Starting from Chitram to Drishyam, there are numerous movies that got remade into almost all Indian languages. Some of these remakes flopped because the audience of these industries were not ready for such stories, which were so ahead of their times, or they didn't remake these stories with the talent that matched the caliber of Mohanlal. Manichitrathal, which was made in the 90s, could find a market in rest of the industries only after like 10 to 15 years, right? When Rajinikanth remade this in Tamil, he had to add some over-the-top action and to make it sell in the industry. But the good news for Rajini was that it marked a new innings for him to do a relatively low-profile, performance-oriented character. Likewise, in other languages, it was remade as well and were quite successful. When Ajay Devgan and Kamal Haasan did the remake of Drishyam in their language, they put a conscious effort to not try and mimic what Laletan did in the original, as they knew that it would backfire, and hence they played to their own strengths and made those movies immense successes. Now, as I end this video, I realize that there is so much that I have not talked about our Laletan, who celebrated his 60th birthday recently. Some critics praised Lal as a Marlon Brando of Indian cinema. I personally have not seen much Marlon Brando films other than Godfather, in which he was great. But the point is, we didn't ask for any validation for a gem like Laletan against this Hollywood biggie, Marlon Brando. Mohanlal is simply our Laletan, who we all know will continue to enthrall audiences in Kerala and across India for years to come. Thank you very much, folks. If you're not subscribed to this channel, please do so. Thank you again.